It's 2:17 in the morning. A dense apartment block in Lucknow sits completely silent. In a modern city, this kind of deep night is the only time millions of people ever truly feel alone. Inside that single lit window lived Ria, a young woman who lived alone. After 2 days of total silence from her, her brother called the police. Ria's last digital footprint was a WhatsApp update posted shortly before she vanished. "I think someone is watching me." When Inspector Kabir arrives at the apartment, he finds absolutely nothing out of place. There are no scratches on the deadbolt, no shattered glass, and no signs of a struggle. The physical security of the room is entirely intact. Ria's smartphone sits squarely on the center table. The screen is locked, and the digital logs confirm it hasn't been moved since that final timestamp, 2:17 a.m. A chaotic crime scene gives investigators a narrative. A perfectly undisturbed room forces a much darker question. If the physical perimeter wasn't breached from the outside, the investigation has to look at the structure itself. Kabir begins stripping the room down. He spots an old CCTV camera mounted in the corner, but a quick check confirms the wiring is dead. It's a piece of security theater, a distraction. Then, scanning the plaster behind the dummy camera, he finds a microscopic pinhole, carefully drilled straight through the drywall. This diagram shows how the position of that tiny aperture is mathematically precise. Placed high in the corner, the camera's wide-angle lens projects outward, intersecting with every piece of furniture. It eliminates every single blind spot in the room. This single hole suggests the intruder didn't need to enter the room to study Ria. Kabir is no longer looking for a sudden intruder. He's looking for someone who spent months on the other side of that wall. The apartment functioned as a fortress against the outside world, yet it provided no defense against the hollow space between the rooms. Kabir traces the trajectory of that drilled hole. The angle points directly into the ceiling, leading straight to the apartment directly above Ria's. According to the building guard, that upstairs unit has been officially vacant for months, but the guard admits to hearing faint, unexplainable noises echoing through the floorboards late at night. Kabir breaches the heavy front door. Inside, there is no furniture, no lights. The only illumination comes from the harsh blue glare of massive monitors. Every screen displays a different feed: thermal imaging, infrared night vision, and standard wide angles, all stitched together to form a seamless 24/7 broadcast of Ria's apartment. This setup allowed the intruder to monitor every single angle of Ria's apartment simultaneously. By linking multiple hidden lenses to this central hub, he could simply sit in the dark and quietly observe her most private moments, remaining completely undetected above her. The physical abduction was merely the final step. The actual violence began months earlier, through the systematic, invisible extraction of every private moment she had. In the center of the monitors sits a single, rolling office chair. It's slightly swiveled, the cushions still bearing the indentation of someone who stood up just seconds ago. Kabir hears a soft footstep on the bare concrete behind him. A voice whispers, "You shouldn't have come up here." Kabir turns to face the intruder. The man isn't panicked. He is perfectly calm and smiling. He offers a simple justification. "I was only observing her, but she started to get scared." When Kabir demands to know where she is, the man doesn't answer. A faint scratching sound echoes from behind a false wall panel. Kabir rips the paneling away to reveal a cramped, pitch-black utility closet. Inside, Ria is huddled in the corner in sheer panic. Kabir pulls her to safety and cuffs the calm intruder, who offers absolutely no resistance. As the man is led down the dark hallway, he maintains that same detached smile, watching the police flashlights with a look of mild curiosity. At the precinct, the investigation shifts to the digital evidence. Ria is safe, the intruder is in a cell, and Kabir begins processing the files seized from the laptop that powered the monitor wall. He bypasses the local locks to find a heavily encrypted master directory. The folder is simply labeled Subjects. Inside, there are hundreds of distinct subfolders. Each one contains gigabytes of hidden camera footage featuring different women living in entirely different cities. The laptop functions as a node in a larger exchange, linked to servers that host similar feeds from dozens of other cities across the country. At the bottom of the directory tree sits a freshly created folder. The title is one word: Next. Kabir opens the file to a live, active feed. The camera is looking down into a living room in the same apartment complex Kabir just left. A different woman is sitting on her sofa, unaware, as the timestamp in the corner ticks. Today, 2:17 a.m. Arresting one operator does not dismantle the architecture. It leaves you to look at the walls of your own home and wonder who else has the blueprint.